How sweet it is. The Clown Princes of Basketball are back. The Harlem Globetrotters tip off the season premiere of ABC's Wide World of Sports tomorrow.
The Orange Men of Syracuse have taken the lead for the first time today, and it's come at a pretty good time with only 2 minutes and 4 seconds to play in the ball game. Now Vessling will kick it off, and Harry Mose is the man in the middle. And there's a young fella right there waiting, Win Lyle, sophomore. I don't know, is it significant? He's got a patrolman standing alongside of him.
He didn't seem to be too upset or too nervous.
No, he didn't, did he? Syracuse has run off 39 plays in this half to only 16 for Auburn. Boy, Vessling got all of that one, didn't he? Back to the one goes Perry Reed. Stays in the traffic and up the lane to the 25-yard line. And tonight, laugh your way into 88 here on ABC. 3 minutes of AB plus 2 on Full House. Followed by Amaris-Dora, then Bob Euchre, man of the house. But Mr. Belvedere's really in charge. You know that. And Brian Keith stars in Pursuit of Happiness, followed by the award-winning 2020 All Tonight on ABC. Well, it is put up time, or as they say down home, gut checking for the Auburn Tigers. Number 6 in the nation. Syracuse, number 4 in the nation, and undefeated. And Berger's pass down the middle is good to Donaldson, and Duke gave up some ground. He was trying to use his speed to get away, and he couldn't outrun David Bavaro. He had the ball up on the 30, but retreated it by a yard and a half, back inside the 29. Pick up on the play then will go for about 3 and a half. Berger again gets his pass away. Great catch by Lawyer Tillman. Is he a player? One big play after another for this big guy. That's a first down for Auburn. And 1:33 to play in the ball game. A twisting, turning, one-handed grab.
He's an outstanding player, and Syracuse has not taken him out of the offense of Auburn today.
5 catches for 118 yards for Lawyer Tillman, and Berger stays with the air game. Dumps it off to Danley. Danley just puts his head down and takes off after a momentary hesitation to see where he had some room. And finally, Sean Whiteman ran him down.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts, only needing a field goal to tie.
1:09, clock ticking. Berger throwing, second down, 3. Don't want the sack here. Dump it off to Reggie Ware. And Reggie hits the chalk at about the 42. There was nothing on that play, and so, in fact, he might have lost a half a yard or so. So it is third down now, and right at 4 yards. 1:02 to play in the game. Berger has hit 6 straight passes. He's been taking on these last 3 or 4 snaps, Bob, short drops.
Normally a short drop means a quick pass, but they've been covered and he's had to scramble out of there.
Dumps it off to Donaldson. Duke picks up the first down at the Auburn 48-yard line. 57 seconds to go in the game, and timeout by Auburn. Woo, what a finish. Syracuse 16, Auburn 13, 57 seconds to play.
To those who with a boundless energy and burning spirit live to be the best, comes a salute from those of us who live by the same values, the U.S. Armed Forces.
I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to college on the new GI Bill. You serve full-time in the armed forces or part-time in the reserves, and you earn a lot of money for tuition.
The U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
She's going to Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Free.
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 I hate her.
No frequent flyer program gives you Asia faster.
When you take Tums, you're getting an extra-strength heartburn medicine. It's a lot stronger than the #2 brand. That's good. But Carol tells me Tums also gives us extra calcium. That's even better.
I'm Jim McKay. All of us at ABC Sports wish you the very best for the new year.
We're waiting to the last gasp here to pick the MVPs. It's probably pretty obvious for Syracuse, but not for Auburn. Each university will receive from Chevrolet, in the name of each player, the MVP, a $1,000 scholarship for the General Scholarship Fund to assist students in the pursuit of knowledge in their chosen field. Back goes Berger on first down. Gets it down the middle. He's got Bolton. And Bolton is down to the Syracuse 35-yard line. 49 seconds to play in the game. Auburn has 2 timeouts remaining. It'll be officially the 34 because it is marked inside. The big stripe. Clock stops on the first down. In place, 45 seconds. Berger goes knocked down by number 94, Paul Fraze. Defensive lineman for the Orangemen, and that stops your clock at 41 seconds to go in the game. 16-13 Syracuse. Berger had 8 straight completions before that pass was knocked down. As I told you, we'll name him here in a moment. Second and 10, just short of the Syracuse 34. Berger back. Throws it to Donaldson. Donaldson runs out of bounds right about the 34-yard line. And again, Duke trying to find some room to use his speed. If he'd have just squared his shoulders and punched straight ahead, he'd have picked up 3 or 4 yards probably. It is now 3rd down.
Say it's strange to see a Pat Dye coach team throwing the ball this much. It's a good thing he does have this passing game. He said a little bit earlier in the week that he kind of enjoys the pass. He says, I even watch pro games now. I kind of enjoy the pass.
3rd down, still about 10. Little swing thrown out to Danley. Danley runs away from 1. Bangs helmets inside the 30-yard line. That is not a first down. 28 seconds to play. Marcus Paul and Jeff Mangrum denied him the real estate to run on the sideline. And here we are, all at the 30. It is 4th down. Now, Win Lyle has kicked 2 out of 3 from 50 or better, his longest 55 yards. And Jeff Berger calls timeout. That means they've got 1 left. I think you've got to go for the 3 here, don't you?
Well, it'd be what, a 47-yard field goal?
He's long enough. Well, you got 4th down and almost 4th and 5.
You got 28 seconds. You have 28 seconds and 1 timeout. If you go for it and pick up the first down,
fine.
The clock stops and you use it again.
If you don't, you lose.
You lose. You've got, as I mentioned, Lyle is an all-SEC kicker. He came into the game hitting 15 of 19, so he's 17 out of 22. Do you have more confidence in Lyle or in Berger?
They're going to go. They're going for the win. They're going for the win. They got 1 timeout remaining.
Well, I'm sure Pat Dye is not interested in the tie. And in a bowl game that doesn't mean anything in the national championship
well, let's see what they do, though. Let's see whether or not Berger comes out here like you used to do and goes to a different cadence to try to pull him offside. But even offside won't give him the first down.
I think it might. Yes, well, it depends.
Almost 6 yards. Yeah, 6 yards. Now, he's going to put it up. He gets it away, and it's caught by Danley for a first down at the 22-yard line with 22 seconds to play.
And they were all over him. He had to throw it over 2 Syracuse players. He looks downfield. This ball could have been picked off as easily as not. Just a great throw.
First down from the 22. Berger back. Throws it to the sideline. Caught by Tillman. Out of bounds at the 15-yard line. 13 seconds to play. Marcus Paul took him out. Auburn has one timeout remaining. Berger's hit 12 of his last 13 passes. Ticks on the clock. Looking for Tillman. Underneath Donaldson, tripped up. He had one man back there with him, number 22, Sean Whiteman, and Whiteman got him. And Auburn now spends its last timeout with 4 seconds to play. You got one more snap. And look what we have here. Win Lyle. I don't disagree with it. Confound it. Both teams have played well. They've asserted that it's been a noble effort on both sides. Why not?
Well, it would be third down.
Yep.
Third down and 1. Is that what it is? 3rd and 1. You'd have to throw it into the end zone. Geez, you can always kick a field goal on 4th down. Why don't you go for it, throw it into the end zone, and take a shot at it?
You lose if you don't make it. Here you don't.
You kick the field goal on 4th down. 3rd down. 3rd down and 1. Go throw it once in the end zone. But
all right, Win Lyle. Shulman the holder. Hudson the snapper. 30-yard try. Good. With 1 second to play in the game, it's a 16-16 tie, and it looks like it's going to be the first time in 54 years of the Sugar Bowl that we've had such a thing.
And that man right there is going through a season. He was 11-0 coming in. He's done an outstanding job of getting his players ready to play. Discipline.
The MVP for the Sugar Bowl, Bob, the Miller-Digby Trophy, is Don McPherson. I'll give you our Chevy players in just a moment. 1 second. Maybe here's Win Lyle now from 30 yards. He kicked it from 40, 41, and 30 and hit them all today. But it was an outstanding effort by both teams.
It was an outstanding game. You really got to credit Syracuse coming in. Came into this game undefeated. Not many people respecting what they did. And Auburn, Pat Hayden congratulating Berger, that's Berger, for moving the team down the field.
Now Chris Johnson will kick it off. Syracuse will handle the ball one more time, and that'll do it. Little squibber just rolls it along. It's picked up by an up man. And now they're going to pitch it around a little bit. And they're still alive. And finally on the ground. And time has expired. And the football game is over. And it is a tie ball game. Syracuse 16 and Auburn 16. And the most valuable players, each university receiving $1,000 in the name of these players for their general scholarship fund from Chevrolet. Don McPherson for Syracuse and Lawyer Tillman for Auburn with 6 catches, big catches, all of them at 124 yards. McPherson on the day, 11 of 21, 140 passing, but he was the unquestioned leader of this Syracuse offense. And so it's done, 16-16. Well, it was a hanger right down to the very last second.
You've built a name in business for all the world to see. So build in the protection of USF&G.
Across the USA, the big name for protecting business is USF&G Insurance. Ask your independent agent.
We got you covered, America, through every business day. USF&G covers the USA.
Who says Chevy's better than Ford? USAC tested standard half tons with their best automatics and half-ton payloads. 0 to 60, 40 to 55, pylon course handling, full-size Chevy beat Ford. Level and uphill towing acceleration. Chevy with Vortec V6 beat Ford. Which truck should you be driving? USAC test just answered it.
Now, get $500 cash back on new full-size CK pickups.
It's today's Chevy truck.
Each person in a self-governing community holds an office, and that office is the office of citizen.
A 34-year veteran of teaching at Syracuse University, Dr. Ralph Ketchum has received the National Professor of the Year Award from the Council for Advancement and Support of Education. At Syracuse University, professors like Ralph Ketchum are part of the tradition we call the Syracuse Spirit.
It will go down probably as one of the best, most well-played Sugar Bowls in history. 16-16, the final. Coach Dick McPherson, I imagine it's a little bit bittersweet. You wanted to go 12-0. You wanted to really make a claim for the national championship. How do you feel?
Right. They're exactly right. We wanted to go 12-0. Then we let everything happen from there. We didn't get there. We got a tie. I'll tell you, it's a long struggle. Beautiful, beautiful place. We had a great time in New Orleans. The Sugar Bowl is fantastic. I want to thank all of the Sugar Bowl people for inviting us here, Mike. It was just beautiful. And now I got to go into my kids and try to love them up a little bit because they really are a great bunch.
I know they were disappointed. What did you think with 4 seconds to go? I know it's hard to put the other coach's shoes on.
Right.
Would you have gone for the tie?
Would I have gone for the tie? Absolutely not. I would not have gone for the tie, but you are right. I'm not in his shoes.
Well, Coach, again, it's hard to tarnish a season like you guys had, and I don't think the 16-16 tie does that. It's been a great season.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
And
get back to your players.
You're a great competitor yourself. I remember you well. God love you.
Okay.
God
Thanks,
love
Dick.
everybody.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
Keith and Bob?
All right, Mike. Well, what would you have done?
Well, it was interesting. I think I would have gone for the win. It's a meaningless ball game. It's not for the national championship. You know, you play it wide open the whole way. You know, a tie is better than a loss, but I think you got to go for it in that situation. And McPherson, I give him credit for saying what he thinks.
Some say it's a sister kisser, but after a game like this, you ought to be pretty.
Well, I think Pat Dye was more confident of a tie with his kicker. I just don't understand why he didn't go for one more play, throw the pass into the end zone. It was third down. If it's incomplete, you come back and kick the field goal if that's what he really wanted to do.
Well, you had Tillman, too. I was a little surprised that maybe Tillman wasn't a little more obvious and late in the going there, because he almost every time when they had to have a big play, it looked like Lawyer made it.
Well, they did, but on the last few plays, as I was watching, they were double covering Lawyer Tillman, and well, they should, and they finally got to doing that. But again, it was a heck of a ball game. I'm very impressed with Syracuse and what Dick McPherson has done for that ball club. You know, the discipline, the motivation that he has brought to that system and what he has done is just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, we've got some highlights. I'm not sure exactly what they are, so let's roll them here and we'll see what they are as we got down through the... We started out with Auburn going to the lead by 7-0 on this 17-yard reception by Tillman from Berger, and here was just a great athletic play by Tillman and a perfect pass by Berger.
Well, Berger puts it the only place he can, high and away from the two defensive backs. More often than not, a quarterback will throw the ball away from the defense as much to the offensive man, and that was the only place he could put it.
Syracuse then responded and capped off their drive with this 12-yarder from McPherson to Glover.
Again, the option down the line pulls up the men in the intermediate area and allows him to throw over the linebackers and between them and into the end zone. Nice catch by Glover.
It was Win Lyle who stepped into being a principal figure in this ball game early on with this 40-yard field goal to give Auburn a 10-7 halftime lead. That was the Syracuse touchdown that tied it by Vessling at 10-10, I guess it was. And then as time wore on down in the ball game, and now I understand that's Vestling's field goal that gave Syracuse the 16-13 lead.
A lot of field goals.
Yeah, there were field goals all over the place today. And here with a big play as Danley caught the ball on a looped pass by Berger. And that was the only kind of a pass that Jeff could throw.
Yeah, it was, and it was a critical play, 4th down, and it was the only place he could put it.
And then with 4 seconds left, Pat Dye made the decision to go for the tie, and Wenlow made it pay off as he drilled it from 30 yards. So he made 3 field goals today, as did Vestling. Vestling just missed one from 46 yards, and that's how we finished the first tie in Sugar Bowl history at 16-16.
And what this does, Syracuse came in 11-0, and they go out of this ball game still undefeated. So they finish 11-0-1. They were ranked 4th coming in. Florida State, who was ahead of them in the polls, was 3rd. They also won. So the national championship will still be decided. And Syracuse came in and says, what if we win? We go 12-0 and we're undefeated. And we don't want to, we'd be the first team at 12-0 not to win a national championship. But there are 2 other teams that are 11-0 that have something to say about that.
Well, what happens if you get a tie down in the Orange Bowl? It's not beyond the pale, you know. It could happen.
Well, that's an interesting point.
Then it's up to the voters, I suppose, huh?
But
what do you think about the playoff?
Well, I don't agree with the playoff system. I think that it's right. I think the bowl system has done too much good for college football to get into something that is going to create a problem down the road. I think you look at the last 15 or 20 years, and you look at all the champions and all the polls that were taken. Every year, maybe except 1 year, the champion was a clear choice in the polls, in all the different polls. It was one team, and there was only one team only. Very few years is there one team in one poll and one team in the other.
It's happened, but I'll tell you, when it's happened, Bob, it's produced the best marketing for college football you could have, because they argue for the entire off-season about it, and there's nothing wrong with that either. I don't know if collegiate sports should develop into a playoff system. I personally don't think it matters, because I've heard this argument about people missing classes and all this kind of stuff, and I happen to be of the opinion that a basketball player misses more classes in one season than a football player does in 4 years.
Well, the problem with playoffs is that if the Syracuse University and the fans that came down here knew that if they won this game that they would be in a playoff system next week and the following week somewhere, would they come here? And that would fester around the country, and maybe all the fans would wait for their team to play in the real national championship game. So you're going to see the USF&G Sugar Bowl half or 3/4 full, because the fans say, hey, we can't afford to go on too many of them. We're going to wait till our team plays in the championship. $47 million the bowls have given each year, or this year and every other year, to the bowls and the teams that play in the bowls, and that's a lot of money to kick around. I just don't think because basketball does it and the other sports might do it that it fits for football.
Well, Don McPherson didn't win the Heisman, but he mopped up today, didn't he? He won the Chevy MVP. He was named the MVP for the Sugar Bowl, and he was also named the winner of the Maxwell Trophy, so it's been a grand season for him anyway.
Outstanding year. He was a runner-up in the Heisman. He did what he had to do today. They took away his big plays. Tommy Kane, who came into the game with 14 touchdowns, averaging 22 yards per catch, was shut out. And he adjusted, went to the running game, and they did very well. It was a very impressive performance.
Now let's join Mike Adamle as he talks with Pat Dye.
Well, Coach, I said after the ball game was over, it'll have to go down in history as one of the best played Sugar Bowls in history. Now the big question, will I go for the tie? Is you got 4 seconds left. There was
why would you not go for the tie? Our kids played just as good as theirs did. If they wanted to win the football game, they should have blocked the field goal.
With 4 seconds left, there was some question that perhaps you could get one more playoff and still have a chance to get the field goal.
No timeouts left.
So there was no question in your mind whatsoever about going for the tie.
You know, to be honest with you, if I hadn't have felt like we got a couple of bad calls early in the second half, I probably would have gone for the, for the win.
What were some of the bad calls you felt?
Well, when Lawyer caught the ball in bounds coming off the goal line down there, and they called holding on us on the first play of the second half, and put us in the hole. We never had a chance to move the football, and I just, I think if you go in our dressing room and say obviously that we didn't play our better ball game, and We ended up playing with 2 freshman corners all night long. One a true freshman, one a redshirt, had never played any before. We playing with 3 down linemen, no substitutes, you know, they all hurt. So,
so in your estimation,
I was very proud of our football team and the courage and the character that they displayed, and I didn't want to take a chance on them losing that at the end of the game. Sure, I didn't like the tie, and Coach McPherson probably says, well, you know, what the heck. But, you know, if he'd have been in my position, you know, he might have done it different too.
Quickly, did your kids try to talk you out of it, perhaps? Coach, let's go for the win.
I don't let my kids talk me out of anything on the sideline. I got a plan as to what I'm going to do and when I'm going to do it. But if I do something like that, you know, I've already thought about it, and I know what I'm going to say when we go in the dressing room. Okay. And our kids are not celebrating in the dressing room right now. You know, they kind of taking it what it is. It's a tie. You know, it's something that's not going to leave a bad taste in your mouth. It's just not going to be that elation that you have with a big win. Okay. Syracuse is a great football team. They're a great football team. And, you know, this is not the way that I wanted it to end, and it's not the way that Coach McPherson wanted it to end. But when it came down to 4 seconds left, we got one play to not get beat, and that's what we took.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for spending the time with us again. Okay, Happy New Year. Keith?
All right, that'll do the story from the USF&G Sugar Bowl, brought to you by USF&G all across this country. USF&G protects your business, home, auto, and life. USF&G covers the USA. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. Tomorrow on ABC Sports, first stop of ABC's Professional Bowlers Tour, $125,000 ARC Alameda Open, then ABC's Wide World of Sports season premiere, featuring the Clown Princes of Basketball, Harlem Globetrotters in Berlin, plus Wide World's Athlete of the Year Award, beginning at 3 Eastern here on ABC Sports. Promotional fee paid by USF&G. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, recognized around the world as the leader in sports television. Your final score in the USF&G Sugar Bowl, Syracuse 16, Auburn 16, the first tie ever.
A promotional fee has been paid to ABC by United Airlines, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
This should be some party.
Hey, I'll even let you dance with me.
You'll need a few drinks first, Jack.
Oh, no, wait, he can't. He's driving.
Well, come on, what's a holiday party without a little holiday cheer? Hey, you want to get home in one piece, don't you? Oh, yeah,
Now, listen, whenever we go out, Jack and I decide who's driving, and whoever drives doesn't drink.
Ah, meaning if I want to drink tonight, I can.
Or you don't have to.
Either way, I'll be driving home.
Great.
Hey, great. Well, I'll tell you what, next party I'll drive.
Designate a driver. It could save your life.
Woody's has their entire fall and winter collection of coats on sale right now. 25 to 50% off every coat in the store. That's my way to save at Woody's.
When you think of one name that means everything in coffee makers.
What's the one that comes to everyone's mind?
Mr. Coffee. Because Mr. Coffee's been America's best-selling brand for over 12 years.
You might select Mr. Coffee under the cabinet.
Or Mr. Coffee Jr.
Or the new International Design Series, the newest member of the Mr. Coffee family.
Style.
Quality.
Dependability.
And of course, all this from Mr. Coffee.
Hope your new year is off to a great start. While you rest, your Toyota dealer's putting on the final touches for the last frantic days of Toyotathon 88.
The best Toyotathon ever. And new savings records mean new sales records.
They've got to sell 90,000 cars, trucks, and vans.
Coast-to-coast Toyota dealers are staying open late, celebrating Toyota's 30th.
With extra value package savings on 34 models. You can't afford to miss Toyotathon 88. It's almost over, so be there.
Music's hottest stars together on Entertainment Tonight.